Hi, U.S. History students. Welcome to another review session brought to you by Links Education. So this is Lynn, online U.S. History teacher, and today we will cover chapters 13 and 14. Come on and join me. So we'll have the questions that's related to the American expansion, the doctrine that left the decision whether a state would enter the Union slave or free up to the territorial legislature representing the people of that territory. Is it A, Compromise of 1850, B, Popular Sovereignty, C, Kansas-Nebraska Act, or D, Freeport Doctrine? And if your answer is B, that is correct. Let's move on to the next question. A fanatical American abolitionist, he led an armed band that seized the federal arsenal at Harper's Ferry, Virginia, hoping to set off a general slave revolt. A, Frederick Douglass, B, Harriet Tubman, C, Martin Van Buren, or D, John Brown. There's no G, D. So our answer is obviously John Brown. Okay, moving on to our third question. By opening territory north of 36 degrees, 30 minutes to slavery, the Kansas-Nebraska Act repealed the A, Dred Scott Decision, B, Missouri Compromise, C, Northwest Ordinance, or D, the Wilmot Proviso. So that is B. It repealed the Missouri Compromise. Moving on, and our fourth question worth $1,000. Despite earlier efforts to settle the issue, the slavery question became a major issue in 1840s and 1850s because the A, nation was expanding to the west. B, United States Supreme Court had a northern majority. C, evangelists of the Second Awakening raised the issue frequently. D, existing political parties needed an issue which would unite their members. And that's an A. Moving on to our fifth question. Bleeding Kansas gained its reputation for violence because of the A, U.S. Army's vicious tactics while driving the Indians out of the territory, B, actions of various bandit gangs that roamed the territory before the arrival of federal marshals, C, general lawlessness of cow towns like Dodge City and Abilene, D, sporadic warfare between settlers on opposing sides in the battle over the slavery issue. And the Bleeding Kansas is associated to the sporadic warfare between the pro-slavery and the anti-slavery supporters. Let's look at the next question, see if you can answer it. Is it easy or hard? In the Dred Scott case, the Supreme Court ruled that A, all of these choices are correct. B, Dred Scott could not legally sue in a federal court. C, the Missouri Compromise was unconstitutional. Dred Scott was not a citizen of the United States. And that's all correct. A. Moving on to the next question. This is worth $10,000. At the outset, President Lincoln held that the Civil War was being fought to A. End all state sovereignty, B. Preserve the Union, C. Free the slaves, D. Carry out the goals of the abolitionist movement. So if you're familiar with the Civil War, you'll definitely know the answer, and that is B. That is to preserve the Union. Okay, looks like the questions are easy. So let's look at the next one. Oh, the Emancipation Proclamation, slaves only in areas in rebellion against the United States, but not in areas that remained loyal. B. Freed the slaves and abolished slavery in all the states of the Union and the Confederacy. C. Was, let's pause this, was formulated by the radical Republicans and issued by Lincoln despite his strong personal objections. D. Convinced England and France to enter the war on behalf of the Union in order to win the crusade against slavery. And of course, that's an A. Let's look at the next one. This is about Frederick Douglass. During the Civil War, Northern black leaders such as Frederick Douglass worked as army recruiting agents because they believed that A. It was the best way to prevent blacks from being drafted, B. Blacks were more resistant to the diseases that ravaged white soldiers in the garrisons, C. Blacks would get to see their loved ones in the South only by fighting for the Union, or D. Black participation in the Army would be a step toward black citizenship. And of course, we've always looked at the blacks' attempt to be accepted in the society as they fight for their civil rights, and that is D. Next question, worth $100,000. So just stay tuned. We're almost done. This, if you could spend less than 10 minutes of your time, this will help. This abolitionist and escaped slave nicknamed the Black Moses conducted hundreds of slaves to freedom through the Underground Railroad. A. Frederick Douglass, B. John Brown, C. Harriet Tubman, or D. Martin Van Buren. And that's a she, Harriet Tubman. Right, next question. This is the joint occupation. For what territory did and the United States agree to the principle of joint occupation in 1818? A. California, B. Montana, C. Utah, or D. Oregon. So if you remember Polk's 5440 or fight, that is related to this, the Oregon Territory. So the last two questions, I hope that you're getting most of the answers here. So what did the Wilmot Proviso stipulate? A. All territory acquired from Mexico would prohibit slavery. B. All territory acquired from Mexico would allow slavery. C. All territory acquired from Mexico would be organized according to the popular sovereignty. D. All territory acquired from Mexico would be organized according to the Missouri Compromise. And that is to block the expansion of the slavery, therefore that's an A. All territory acquired from Mexico would prohibit slavery. So the final question is about, let's see, the Free Soil Party. In 1848, the Free Soil Party platform advocated all of the following except A. Support of the Wilmot Proviso, B. Opposition to slavery in the territories, C. Opposition to internal improvements, or D. Free government homesteads for the settlers. Except, so remember the slogan of the Free Soil Party: free land, free labor, free man, and they're definitely supporting A, B, and D, except for C. They were not opposing the internal improvements. Congratulations, guys, you made it again. You're able to review some of the questions from chapters 13 and 14. So make sure to review consistently in order to answer these questions. I hope you learned something today, and don't forget to share and subscribe to my channel, Links Education. I'll see you guys in the next review session. Goodbye!